Hey y'all, Enzo here with you from Knox Knife Mods, and today, as you can see, we have quite a spread here. We're going to be talking about production striders as they've kind of evolved, and which one of these might be. This one doesn't really count, but between these SNGs and the BBNM, and we'll talk about this SMF a bit too. Which one is at least my favorite, and maybe your favorite if this is something you're interested in. All right, guys, let's roll that intro and get into it. All right, so we got a family of Strider knives here. We're going to talk about which one I think is the best kind of go-to knife, which one's the best all-rounder out of this bunch. Honestly, guys, I'm going to be upfront with you. I've been in kind of a cold snap here with my knife interest, so this video is partially to kind of help me get back into it. I figured I would talk about knives that really excite me. And the last knife that really got my attention was from this year, the North Mountain Blade Dwire BBNM. This was designed by Dwayne Dwire, formerly one half of Strider Knives, and I really think that this thing was a knockout of the park, and there hasn't been any new knives that have excited me as much as this did when it came out. So yeah, so we'll talk about that. Let's just kind of work down the line first. I'm going to close these all up and we'll get a closed view, but we will start by taking a look at the Strider, the Protech Strider SNG. And better yet, we're going to start with this one right here. This was the first official Strider knife that I purchased, the G9 Protech SNG. It was made for the Gathering that year, which I think was 2014 or 2015. I'm not quite sure on that, and don't quote me, but this thing is awesome. I have modded it. Nothing too crazy. All I did was put on a Coyote Tan Duracoat finish. Maybe it was Black Hawk Tan. I think it was Black Hawk Tan. Really love how that came out. I made it to match my Taurus Millennium G2 9mm. So they're a matching set, and I think it's super cool. I also removed the safety on this because it's kind of silly. The knife didn't need a safety in the first place. Being a Protech, this thing has excellent button actuated deployment, and as you can hear, this one in particular is a real mule kick. I mean, this thing just fires out. It's really wild, and it has kind of the I think this was like one of the earlier generations of the Protech Strider collaboration. You have the very large Strider sword logo on the blade there. I have mixed feelings about that. I love the logo. I do kind of wish with these that maybe they had put the thumb hole there just for a decorative measure. I mean, it's such an iconic part of the design language of the original SNG, but still, it's really cool without it. And one that I think looks fantastic without the deployment hole is this one, the Strider Protech SNG Operator. Now, this one without the deployment hole absolutely works. I love this. This is my favorite iteration of an SNG, period. I just think it is so cool, so sleek, so svelte. It's just awesome. And you have the tritium tube and the button there. Everything about it just looks fantastic. I mean, that's wicked. Kind of already jumping out of the gate here telling you which SNG is my favorite, but it's definitely this one. It's one of those things where I probably never will own, unless I get a really good deal, and I've seen some good deals, but I probably never will outright own a custom SNG, simply because these Protech SNGs were so fantastic. Now the problem now is that collaboration has ended, so you can't really get these anymore. There are some retailers that still have some old stock, but it's one of those cases where you're not going to find it online. I mean, it's almost like you have to go into the store and just get lucky. But if you do, and you can get these at retail, I highly recommend you do. These are fantastic. Now, I've said many times that the SNG as a design, as well as the SMF. I just love those designs, and I think that Mick Strider and Dwayne Dwire really did something special with that design. But as far as the execution of custom Striders go, they've always left me pretty cold. I've handled them at Blade, and I've always had issues with every one that I've handled with either play or lock rock or weird lock engagement, and it's never really blown my mind, which is why I was a big fan of these Protechs, because Protech is a really perfection-oriented company, I think it's fair to say. Their fit and finish, their standards for production are very, very high. And this one in particular is a perfect example of that. Now you'll notice this Protech does not kick like that one. I mean, this one just fires like a, golly, man. I mean, that just kicks like a mule. If you hand it to somebody and they don't know what they're doing, it's going to fly out of their hand. This one is much more subdued. It is very snappy, and it kicks well, but it's a little more dialed back. Now, that said, it still feels really, really great to use. And again, I think that this one maybe kicks more than it needs to, which leads to the way that I'm assuming is the coil spring that was kind of reworked on this. But yeah, both of these are absolute winners. I think there's about a 4 or 5 year, or maybe longer, maybe like even 6 or 7 years difference in the time that was elapsed between the production of both of these knives. As you can see, the top one here is definitely more of a user, and I intend to keep using it that way. It's that blade's fairly beat up. I've had to grind down the tip just a hair because I rounded off the tip by accident once. And the pocket clip is this really cheap, skinny aftermarket clip. I need to replace that with a better official Strider clip, or maybe a monkey edge style clip. One of these days, I'm going to do that. But for now, it's an awesome user. This one is a light user. It's got a little bit of wear, but I tend to baby it a little bit more than the other. However, I don't baby any of my knives too much. I mean, they're knives, they're meant to work. So we'll move down from these two SNGs. We'll talk about this SMF here. I don't know for certain. I'm pretty sure this is a clone, but this is my personal modded SMF bolt thrower. That's what I call this one. So what I've done with this is a orange peel on the scales, very heavy orange peel on the pocket clip, and I really, really love the way that turned out. The texture is fantastic, particularly the texture on the clip is really nice. But I was afraid to do that with the scales because you really have to lean into the wire wheel, and also it puts kind of these, I don't know if you can see it, but they're like scratch patterns on the edge of whatever you're applying that orange peel to. And I don't want to see that all the way around the edges of the scales. So kept it light on these scales. Now on this one, the detent has a bit of, I don't know if you call that detent lash or what you call that, but there's just a bit of play in that detent. Everything else though is pretty nice. It's a lighter detent, but not in a bad way. It has a very nice smooth roll with the blade closed. Lockup is nice and early, and the disengagement is really great, nice and smooth. I wish the detent was a bit harder, but still I do like being able to just slowly open it like that. But yeah, this is a fun piece. I really like it. I'm not afraid to use it since I do suspect it's a clone. But the mod job on this is something that made me really happy. I worked at Primo at the time, and I was able to use a laser engraver to kind of do my own custom laser marks. So that's the Nox Knife Mods mark and the bolt thrower mark. So I just think this thing's really cool. Bolt thrower being a reference to the god Zeus, who was known to throw lightning bolts at his, shall we say, enemies? He would throw a bolt at a lot of different things. So moving on, our last piece here. This is the Dwayne Dwire BBNM, produced by North Mountain Blade. And these things are fantastic. As I said earlier, this was the last knife in recent memory that really got my blood pumping, and I picked this one up at Blade Show this year, 2025. This thing is pretty sweet, pretty well dialed in. I hold it to the same standard that I hold the Protech series of Strider knives. It's really well done. Detent on this is perfect. No detent play whatsoever. And when you hit this thing, oh man, it fires fantastically. It's really well balanced. It is definitely on the harder side, so slow rolling's not going to be the best bet. But when you do slow roll, listen to that lockup. I love the way the lockup sounds slow rolling this knife. I mean, it's just so stout and affirmative. I'll do that one more time so you can hear it. I mean, that just sounds great. Now, the downside of this one is the lockup is quite late. It's about, I'd say about 55%. And when you compare it to this SMF, gosh, that's like 20%. So, I mean, it takes a bit of work to get that lock to disengage that lock from the tang. I mean, you really do have to push it, and it is a firm lock, so it takes some getting used to. That was the biggest hurdle for me. Now that I've figured out kind of how to go about it, it doesn't bother me as much. But when I first got it, I was having to do this whole thing with the index finger. But now I've kind of trained myself on how to do it, and it doesn't bother me much anymore. So on this one, I have a pocket clip that, God, it's an old Strider clip I have. I can't even remember where it came from, but I swapped out the North Mountain Blade branded clip. I think it looks a lot nicer. So which one of these really is going to be the one that I think is your best all around? I'm going to go ahead and remove some. Well, let's take this one out since these two are basically the same knife. I do appreciate the newer Protech's kind of more subtle spring. I know most people want that really hard mule kick, but it's nice to have it deploy reliably, but not forcefully, not overly forceful. It feels good. It's easy to put back away with one hand. I'm quite a fan of this knife. Just extremely well balanced, as you would expect from Protech. Now the SMF, I'm usually a large knife guy, but the SMF does not sit in my hand as nicely as the SNG does. The SNG, particularly this Protech SNG, with its smooth scales and rounded shoulders, it just melts into my hand, and it feels fantastic in either the choil grip or the saber grip. It feels really, really good. The SMF, that's the SNG, this is the SMF. The SMF, by comparison, has a few more hot spots to it when I grip. This grip's fine, the choil grip's fine, but the standard saber grip does not feel as good as the SNG. But the size is cool, I will say that. The size is awesome. In the pocket, though, it does feel like you can see it from a mile away in the pocket, and it feels huge. It takes up a lot of pocket space. One more mod I forgot to mention, rock carved pattern on the spine there. Last mod I'll mention, that's it. But my point being, it's a big footprint, and the amount of blade that you're getting in that footprint, it's a bit more. It's definitely taller. You're getting more substance, and it's thicker. That's one thing with these Protechs, is that the Protech SNGs are quite, well, I think they're about a 1/16 of an inch thinner than the Strider or mixed Strider SNGs. That's something to keep in mind. I do think this is plenty of stock to get whatever job done that you're trying to do. I wouldn't even worry about it. But this one has kind of the original stock, so you can see that's quite thick. I mean, you're gonna, take out a car door with this thing if you really wanted to. But yeah, so there's the SMF. Because of the size, let's go ahead and take this one out. I just think I love it, but I think it is a bit much, a bit bulky. So that leaves us with these two. Kind of cool because we have the BBNM, Dwayne Dwire's contribution to that sort of Strider pattern, and the SNG, mixed Strider's real banner knife, and it's tough deciding between the two. This knife, the first time I saw the Strider SNG, it really captivated me, and I knew that was a knife that spoke to me right away. The BB&M, I didn't even know it existed until much later, and initially, I didn't care for this this sweep downward at the butt of the handle. As we can see, we can compare the two directly here. So if we look at the SNG, you've got this abrupt angle. There's a couple different platforms here. and then this one has that smooth slope downward. However, the more I use the BB&M, it's really winning me over, which is kind of blowing my mind, because the SNG was just such a foundational kind of design to me. I just loved everything about it from my early days in the knife game, and I still do. But this pattern, just, I really dig it, particularly the blade shape. I love this chop here. I think that just does something for me, design-wise, that really speaks to me. Again, we'll lay them side by side here and kind of compare them. And this is very beautiful too. I mean, that's a gorgeous blade shape, but there's something about having that chop there that I really, really like. One thing that's different on Dwayne's BB&Ms is that his blades are perfectly smooth. There's no jimping on the spine, whereas mixed designs have this pretty, it's not aggressive, but I mean, you can feel it. It's sharp jimping. You know, it's meant to lock in. Dwayne's BB&M designs do not have that. So it's all smooth up here. However, the jimping on the spine of the handle is very noticeable and definitely locks in. Now that, when you're first getting used to this knife, that can be a hot spot when going to unlock. You have to kind of teach yourself to not press hard with your index finger on that jimping, and rather put all of your force into your thumb when disengaging that lock bar, and then you won't even really make contact with it. But it is a learning curve. Another thing I really like about this design is the milling before you get to the standoffs. I think that these milling patterns look really cool, particularly on the lock side. There's a lot happening here. You've of course got your lock bar stabilizer there, and I just think it's really visually interesting. And the symmetry of having the chop here, the swoop down here, that's really something that is beginning to, I'm beginning to like a lot. Another thing that we'll notice that's a bit different is that on the SNG, we have this straight angle here, kind of just a straight line from this large choil here. On the BB&M, we have the choil, but then we have a swoop down again. It's a curve, it's not a straight line. So there are quite a few differences between these models. And like I said, I'm finding myself more and more surprised that the BB&M is the one I want to carry, more than the SNGs. And it's just been, I don't know, it's been surprising to me. I mean, not that surprising, it's the same company that designed it, but you know, it's just something that Dwayne's design being more to me than the SNGs really kind of blowing my mind. But it's something I've noticed so much that I had to make this video. So next part of this video is we're gonna jump over, I'm hanging out with Walsh tonight. We're gonna jump over to his place. I'm gonna put all 4 of these out in front of him, and I'm gonna say, all right, pick one, and we'll get his explanation to why he picked that one. But as for me, Mr. Dwire here, thank you for this design, because I'm going with the BB&M. All right, guys, let's check in with Walsh. All right, y'all. Here with the man, the myth, the legend, Wolfman Walsh. Finally back from his trip. Good to have him back.
Been a minute.
So, all I'm asking is that you choose one of these and then tell me why.
That's all I get?
That's all you get. If you imagine one that you think is going to be the best carry option.
Okay. Do I get to play with them for a second?
Absolutely.
Okay. I know I like this one. The only thing I don't like about this one, and you can fight me on it, is the thumb stud placement. It's a little difficult for me to fire, but overall I really do dig the Dwire there.
Are you inclined to deploy it using the studs rather than the hole?
More so the hole than the studs.
Okay, okay.
For my hand size or placement, the studs aren't in the right place.
Gotcha.
For me.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm all about that hole.
Okay. Okay.
This one, I always enjoy the murdered out look. I mean, my truck is murdered out, so I'm a big fan of that look. But I own a lot of all black knives, and I don't like, I know it's not an auto, but I know I'm not a fan of the assisted ones, but that one's pretty nice. Now, this one, correct me if I'm wrong, is this a clone?
So I don't know for sure, but I suspect it is, because what I paid for it was too good to be a real SMF. So unless I won the lottery, which I highly doubt, I'm pretty sure that's a clone.
That one's pretty nice.
But just discount the fact that it's a clone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remove that from the equation, I guess.
That's a bigger one.
Yeah, that's based off an SMF, or it is an SMF, but probably it's not.
Now, this one, this was the first one.
Yes.
This one also kicks a lot
Yeah.
harder than that one does.
Yeah, it does.
You put a lot of work into this one. You Sarah coated this, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So I'm not supposed to add that to the equation.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just going by subjectivity and your response to the knife.
Okay. I don't like how that one deploys. So I'm gonna,
This one.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna eliminate that one.
All right. Does it kick too hard?
It kicks harder than this one.
Yeah.
And the button is a little sticky. And I'm afraid, even though it is sticky, I'm afraid that, because I've had an assistant go off in my pocket before.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little jumpy about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna eliminate that one.
Okay.
This is tough. This is tougher than I thought it would be. I really like this one because I know the story behind this one and what you went through to get this one.
Well, it's funny. The irony of it is now they're very easy to get.
Right. After Blade Show,
Yeah.
they're super. Not super easy, but easier.
Yeah, easier.
I don't know. That's put me on the spot. See, I can thumb stud this one a lot easier.
I've noticed that about that one too. It is a bit easier if you just want to use those studs.
But the hole doesn't for me. So that's funny. I like that button better.
Yeah.
The kick isn't as much. But I don't know if I can get past it being assisted. Although it is really nice. He gave me no pretext, no context. He was like, hey, I'm just gonna lay these out. Go.
Yeah.
I had no warm-up time.
I wanted the raw reaction.
Well, you're getting it.
Yeah.
It's going to be 20 minutes long. So, okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So we've got. Oh, that was poor. That was bad. So we've got the thumb stud versus the Spidey flick. Now, I do like a large knife, and we are getting into that time of the year where you can carry larger knives more easily. But it's a little too big.
Yep.
So I think I'm gonna go with the Dwire on this one.
Wow. So that's the one I ultimately came down to. Good eye, my friend. Well done. Yeah. For the same reasons. I came to the Dwire. All right. Let's see what Walsh has with him today. Hey.
I only had one on me today.
Nice.
No thumb studs.
Yeah.
Spidey flick only. So.
Nice. Did you have anything secondary or just that today?
No, I had a coin on me. That's about it. Yeah, I was carrying light today. I had my Indian head coin.
Nice.
There
Sweet.
I didn't even have a chance to turn the lights on.
just springing it on you.
Yeah.
Well, no, you gave a good answer, and it's very interesting to me that you came to the same conclusion I did. I came down to, so you came down to these two. For me, it was these two.
See, it was a toss-up.
That's tough. And for the same reason you mentioned that this felt a bit too large, I thought the same thing. So you'll see the video when it's done, but yeah, that's really cool that you also kind of gravitated to the Dwire here. Yeah, man. Well, thank you for doing that for me, buddy. You guys will see this video soon. Hopefully we'll do like a talking head or something soon. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We've been busy as hell.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, life has been lifing for sure. All right, guys.
Life has been lifing.
Yeah, that's not a good one. I'm not going to keep that. All right, well, I've been Enzo. This has been...
Wolfman Wolf.
We'll see you guys next time. Peace.